How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the Nat Automotive channel, and in today's video I'm going to be tackling one of the to-dos that I've been waiting on doing for quite a while now with my C5 Corvette build, and it's a very iconic part of the C5 Corvette, and that is the flip-up headlight assemblies. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is kind of just providing an overview of the process that I went through to rebuild the headlights. As I'm filming this right now, both headlights, passenger and driver side, are completely rebuilt, but I'm filming this after the fact, and I'll kind of do a quick summary afterwards as well of kind of what I went through and how everything worked out for the process. But a bulk of the video is just going to be video clips of me as I'm working on rebuilding the headlights and all throughout that process, and I'll just throw little text notes on the videos to kind of explain what I'm doing. But basically the reason why I'm doing this: one, the driver's side headlight was completely mangled in the accident this car was in, so I had to buy a replacement headlight assembly, a complete one, actually that one that I found with the same torch red headlight cover on eBay. And when I got that, it worked fine for a second, and then the gear stripped on the headlight motor, so basically the gear that helps to pop the headlights up and down, because they're just a cheap nylon, and over time that plastic gets brittle and it just cracks and the teeth break off. So then the headlights are no longer pop up, they get stuck. And then the same thing happened to the passenger side headlight assembly that was still in just A-OK condition after the accident, but the gear also stripped in that. And it was also missing a few parts. The headlight cover was missing, the bezel surround was missing, and a few other things as well. So this whole process is me rebuilding these right now. And what I also learned is when I took apart the piece, or the driver's side headlight assembly that I bought on eBay, I found that it was really rusted. It seemed like, which you'll see in a second here on the video clips, it seemed like it came off a car that had been like sitting underwater or was getting sprayed constantly with saltwater fog spray. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to make these things as nice as possible. So I took them completely apart, took all the brackets, all the hardware off, all the little U-clip, or what do they call them? U-clip nuts or whatever. Took those all off. I used a wire wheel, took all the coating off, took all the corrosion, because there was some minor corrosion on the one that I purchased. Took all that off. I coated them in my favorite Rust-Oleum bed liner spray, or the brackets at least, to give them a nice beefy kind of rough texturing and something that'll hold up well. And then on top of that, of course, I rebuilt the gear assembly with a brass gear replacement kit that I got to get rid of the cheap nylon one, so the pop-up headlights actually pop up. So basically the clips that are all going to be coming are just everything that I've done over the past few months here working on these headlights to basically restore them and get them into good working order. I haven't put them back in the car yet, because basically as soon as I'm done filming this, the next part of this process is to do the correct bodywork repair on the front bumper, and basically you have to take the headlights out to take the bumper off anyways, so I don't want to be putting headlights in just to take them right out again. So that's why I didn't fully install them in the car in this video, but that will definitely be coming in a future video. So enjoy all of the content of me working on the headlights, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video as a summary of everything going on and what we'll be doing next. Hey everyone, so I decided to do a voiceover of this whole section here. It's just going to be way easier, and it'll be a little bit more interactive than me just kind of putting text over the screen. So what I'm doing here is just kind of showing an overview of the workbench with a lot of the headlight assemblies already broken down into pieces, and this is the replacement, or that rusty one was the replacement driver's side that I got. The one that I'm holding now is the passenger side headlight that stayed on the car that was in pretty good shape. But you can see the driver's side headlight assembly, I'm kind of going back and forth here. Here we go. So the driver's side headlight assembly, as you can see, has a decent amount of corrosion, not just on the fasteners, but you can see all the pitting in the middle of the bracket there. So my goal is to basically, this one, as I was taking it apart, I was like thinking I just really want these things to look good and refreshed. So I decided to take these things all the way down as much as I could and strip the old coating off, get rid of all the corrosion, and recoat these things. So I was taking off all the little U-clips there. These things are comprised of all different kinds of U-clips. Even the U-clips were pretty rusted, so threw those things in some vinegar, and then I just started going at it with the wire brush here on all different parts of the headlight. Didn't record a lot of this because I was trying to get close up, and it's hard to do the wire brush and film at the same time. But that was essentially what I did for most of the bracket for the headlight, was I wire brushed those down. So now moving on was the process for rebuilding the actual reason why I started taking these apart in the first place, which is the broken gear assembly that actuates the flip-up headlights. So this is the little motor and gearbox assembly. As you can see there, that white gear is made out of like a nylon, and it's got some really old, lubricant on there. That's what the orange stuff is. But there are missing teeth on this gear. You can see right there. And that, when that hits the worm drive off of the motor, it causes the headlight to skip and not actuate properly. That plastic gear basically just gets brittle over time, and it's a known failure point on these cars. And what I was trying to show here was that you can actually see the broken teeth kind of embedded in the existing lubricant on the worm drive or worm gear from the motor. So I'm packaging now the replacement headlight assembly or gear assembly made out of brass, and it comes with another kind of rubber mount or spacer thing. So what I'm going through now is just trying to clean up the headlight assembly as best I can, using a series of a pick and Q-tips to get all of that out. Embedded in that lubricant right there is part of the broken tooth, so we want to make sure we definitely get that out so it doesn't become FOD and possibly damage the replacement gear going in. And I just spent some time with a Q-tip and really going at trying to get the old lubricant out because it comes with new stuff. The other thing that I needed to replace, and I can't remember if this is the passenger or driver one that I got, but not replace, but restore, is this is the spindle or drive, basically spindle that takes the rotation of the gear and transfers that to the bracket. That was covered in a lot of rust. I think water just gets into this little piece over time. So again, took the wire brush to that, cleaned that up as best as I could. It wasn't completely perfect because I couldn't get in right next to the spindle area, but it looks a heck of a lot better than where it was at now. So now I'm getting the brass gear ready to install, and then it comes with this little rubber kind of spacer isolator thing that you put in there, and then that's what that spindle plugs into. And then now I'm extruding all of the supplied silicone lubricant on the gear itself, just to try and get adequate coverage in all of the gear spaces, and spreading that around. And then at the same time also put the lubricant in the kind of worm gear drive area of the assembly as well. So now we're dropping this in. Key point that I actually didn't catch on, and that I'll touch on later in the video, is depending on if it's the driver or passenger side, the motor is the exact same, but the direction in which that spindle goes into that housing is different depending on if it's the driver or passenger side. So make sure you keep note of that, because I was using just one piece as a reference, and I got it backwards, so I had to take it apart again and flip it around for one of the pieces. So now what I'm doing is mixing up the two-part urethane. It's basically a little gasket that it's not epoxy. This stuff is designed to be removable if you need to pop this thing back off again for whatever reason. So don't use epoxy on this, because you don't want to seal this thing shut forever, and then you'll never get that cover off without breaking it. So this is a special two-part urethane that's provided with the kit. I got the kit on Amazon for, I think it was like $50 each for each side, so $100 total. So now what I'm doing, this is the passenger side headlight assembly. I'm securing the plastic bracket that goes on top of the main metal bracket that holds the headlight. At this point, I'd already painted the passenger side, and what I'm doing now is masking the driver side headlight assembly to paint, because I wanted to, after I roughed up all the surfaces with the wire brush, got rid of all the corrosion, I wanted to obviously recoat those, so I decided to use my favorite truck bed coating, and it gave a really nice textured finish.
And then going at it again for the, I believe this is the passenger side, if not the driver's side, one of the two, obviously. So I had a little bit more of a challenge with this one and getting the cover off based on the old or the factory adhesive that's used to hold the cover on. So essentially what I had to do was use a pick tool and a small flathead screwdriver, and I almost dropped a nice screwdriver on my foot there, but you just basically use that and slowly drive it in. You know, you don't want to be too harsh with it because it is plastic, so I was being very careful to try and not crack the plastic cover. But you can see there I eventually got it off, and it's essentially the same process as before. You're going to take out the old plastic gear. This one, the teeth weren't actually chipped or broken, but there is essentially kind of like a groove cut out in the middle of the gear there. So there's like a low spot, kind of where you saw that gray area, and it caused the headlight not to operate correctly. So I think, if I remember correctly, this is actually the passenger side, because that was the one that was operating fine, and then it kind of randomly went kaput on me. So just assembling the new brass gear in with the new rubber kind of seat, and then getting that spindle in the right direction to make sure it's facing the right way depending on the side it's going in on the car. And then one thing I also did was I slowly, using the knob on the motor, I would rotate the gear and then slowly put in more lubricant just to try and make sure we get adequate coverage on all of this. Now, the one thing I pondered throughout this whole process here, okay, so now I'm actually trying to refit the headlight assembly back into the car just to see how it fits up, but I decided, based on my order of operations for repairing the car, I'm actually going to final install these after I'm done repairing the front bumper and the fender and everything. But I pondered for a while, why did the factory use plastic? Could have been a cost-cutting measure from the beginning, or it could have been they didn't want metal on metal with that worm gear for the motor. So I thought maybe, they didn't want metal on metal. Since this is brass, the brass is probably a little bit softer of a metal than the worm gear on the drive spindle. Just wanted to make sure I had adequate lubricant.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that montage of me working on these headlight assemblies. Pretty straightforward process overall. There were definitely a few lessons learned along the way that I'll share with you guys now, but they turned out great, especially the textured bed liner coating on the lower bracket and the upper bracket for the piece, or each piece on the headlights. So that was really cool to see that come together. And overall, the headlights, assembled back together really nicely. I kept very careful track of all the hardware and everything. And really the only major snafu that I ran into was realizing that these headlight motors are technically the same setup, but the direction of the drive spindle that operates the bracket is actually flipped. So if you imagine on this guy, so this is the driver's side one, the spindle is just flipped and set in the other way, and it comes out on this side. So that threw me off. Ooh, this is falling. That threw me off, and I ended up gluing this cover back on, which is just, I used a clear RTV sealant, because if something happens, you want to be able to take these off. You don't want to like epoxy and set these things in place. So I just had to pull that off, flip the drive spindle around, and put it in the correct direction for, I believe it was this one. But yeah, overall, the construction of the headlights went really well. I did use blue Loctite on some of the fasteners, just because you get some vibration from the car and from the headlight motors kind of running back and forth over time. So that was great, and yeah, overall they came together really nicely. The big next step, which you can probably already visually see, is that this headlight cover didn't come painted. So this is raw fiberglass. So I have to paint this to color match it to the same torch red color, obviously, to match the car. And what I'll be using to do that, which I'll be going over in another video here coming up, is I purchased a color matched spray paint kit from this company, ERA Paints. So you give them the paint code for your car, and they send you that paint mix in a can. So that came with primer, base coat, clear coat. So that'll be a cool video to test how close is that color match based on the rest of the color of the car, which I'm not expecting it to be perfect. You know, this is a 20-plus-year-old car, and we've got a red color from another car. We've got red on the car on the bumper, which will get painted again anyways, and then we'll have red here. But as long as it's a close enough match, this car, at least in its current state, is going to be more of a mechanically solid, really well driving car versus a completely perfect aesthetic looking car. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along on that process of me rebuilding the 2 headlight assemblies for this car. Overall, it wasn't a very difficult job. You just have to keep careful track of all the pieces and all the screws and hardware. And if you're just going at rebuilding the gear assembly, I don't even think you have to take the whole thing out of the car. Don't quote me on that though. I know it is probably easier if you just take the whole thing out of the car. The one thing that I will have to do, which will come once I actually final install the headlights, is there's a lot of adjustment for the headlight lids. So I'm gonna have to probably take those off and loosen them up and then get those set right so that they have at least somewhat nice looking panel gaps with the fender, the front bumper, and the hood. So that's something I haven't delved into just yet, but that will be coming in the future here once I get the front bumper situated. And that leads me to the next point. The next video on the channel will be me diving into how to properly repair all the body panels on the C5 Corvette, what materials you need, at least from what I think you need so far. I've been doing some body work on the passenger side of the car on some of the front and rear fenders that got some nicks in them from the accident. But I think I've locked down all of the body repair materials that you actually need to repair this car, because it is quite confusing. This car is made up of many different kinds of materials, and so each material requires its own special type of body repair epoxy, essentially. So in particular though, in that video I'll be working on repairing the front bumper and kind of showing that process, but I'll also show you or I'll share what materials I think are the best for repairing all the body panels on a C5 Corvette and probably a C6 as well, since they're probably very similar. So anyways, I'm going to stop it there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions about the build, the headlight repair process, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm happy to answer them for you guys. So thanks again guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe for all the awesome content to come. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.